Hello, good morning, everybody. We really greatly appreciate you attending the follow-up to our previous webinar and giving us a chance to talk about the electric water cooler, its features, and its launch. This product is new for us. We've been talking about it since about early April, and we're still getting the word out, and we've had a lot of success and a lot of very positive, very excited feedback about it so far. So I'm excited to go over that with you. My name is Justin Dunn. I am the sales product specialist and trainer for Haws. There's my information there on the screen. If you need it, take it, use it, get in contact with me if you have questions about, well, just about anything. The safety standards, the ADA standards, pricing, quotes, whatever it happens to be, I can help you out. Behind the scenes, making sure that this webinar runs correctly is Nicole Dennison, our marketing manager. That's her information there on the screen. Today, we are going to cover an intro and welcome and deep dive into the electric water cooler, its features, and then move on into a Haws hydration portfolio review. Just a quick once over of some of the options that Haws offers, some of the things that we can do, and situations that we can fill in with our product that you might be dealing with. And then we'll end the webinar with contact information so that you can get a hold of us. And in case you have questions, needs, we're happy to help. So feel free to post questions at any time during the presentation. Use the questions section on the control panel. Any questions that don't get addressed by Nicole during the webinar, we'll follow up and send out a Q&A question answers form. It'll have all the questions you submitted with answers, and we'll get back to you, and you'll have a list of all of those so that you'll have so that you can keep that and use it. With that, we'll be following up with an email in about 24 to 48 hours after the presentation. And it's just going to include the on-demand recording. So we're recording this. We'll get this out to you in case you want to reuse it or show it to anybody else, share it. The presentation slides, so that you can use those however you'd like, and then the additional support materials and the Q&A that I just mentioned. So to get started, we're very, very excited to finally start talking about this product. It was hard for me to keep my mouth shut about it while before we launched it, and now that it's fully launched, I can't stop. So the Haws electric water cooler is fully launched throughout the US as of April 1st. And I'm very excited to go over some of the features with you. So to begin with the initial launch, we have 8 models. You see 4 there on the screen, but if you add filtration to any one of these, that gives us our 8 models. So just to quickly explain, the unit there on the bottom right-hand corner, that would be your basic drinking fountain electric water cooler unit. Chilling package on the bottom, drinking fountain up top, no bottle filler, just the single unit there. That is the 1201S single unit. To the left of that, you have the high-low ADA compliant unit, the 1202S, which is a high-low mounted unit, can be filtered or non-filtered, whichever you prefer. On the non-filtered options, we have Y strainers, so they can still be cleaned and collected, and you can add filtration back behind the unit if you ever decide to make a change. So we have the single, we have the high-low. When we start upgrading, in the top right-hand corner there, we've got the 1211S. You're probably starting to get a feel for the numbering here. 1200 series. The last number there is how many drinking fountains there are. The third number is how many bottle fillers there are. The last digit there, the S, is just that it's a stainless steel unit. So if we decide to move forward with a different material in the future, we can change that up. So the 1211S, we've got the drinking fountain there. We have the bottle filler up top. Really modern, really exciting new look. If you're familiar with electric water coolers versus your typical drinking fountain, you're probably used to an old wedge style design. It's been real popular since the well, for ages now, and has kind of overstayed its welcome, in my opinion. So we really engineered and designed a brand new look to this type of equipment, and I hope you like it. We've gotten overwhelmingly positive feedback now. We finally have something in the electric water cooler category that complements modern architecture. You know, you're not just hiding the electric water cooler back by the bathrooms. This will more blend in with your modern stainless steel devices and features in your buildings. So, and then in the top left, the full package, this is the 1212S. It would be a 1212SF if it was filtered. This is the high-low unit with the bottle filler. Very important, again, if you attended the ADA webinar, that the bottle filler there is on the right-hand side, so it is ADA accessible, well within reach ranges, and we're going to deep dive and dig into that bottle filler here in just a moment. Moving on, the unit itself, you can see it installed on the wall there finally. It's designed to effortlessly retrofit over a huge variety of competitors' models. We thought this was really important, giving you the capabilities to make changes on a job if the rough-ins are already in the wall, or to update your drinking fountains and your electric water cooler devices in your building if something has gone wrong, they're broken. These are considered appliances. So while our normal drinking fountains are bulletproof and they last, you know, 50 years, this has a chilling package on it and things like that. The electric water cooler category is, you know, eventually has an expiration date, you know, and it's important to be able to retrofit and update your facility as needed. So, and I'll show you a little bit about the space underneath the drinking fountain, how much room you have, and how much time it can really save you if you're retrofitting or installing. Very progressive design, huge clearances to make filter replacement, maintenance, an absolute breeze. I mean, that's man hours, that's money. You're investing in somebody to maintain and keep this thing running, and we cut that down to a bare minimum. It's really a huge step up from what's available in the market. Quiet operation. It's got that electric water cooler package, the chilling package on the bottom, of course, behind that louvered panel, and with that comes noise, right? That's unavoidable. You have a fan going in there, it's chilling water. We have greatly minimized the amount of sound. 5% doesn't sound like a huge margin, but when you're talking about meeting spaces and front lobbies and things like that, this really helps to keep the sound level to a bare minimum. Has a proprietary electronics package for enhanced LED communications at the unit, including the backlit display there on the bottle filler, as well as an LED display underneath the drinking fountain on most models that helps to quickly communicate the filter life, that it has power, and any energy savings modes that are active. And I'll go over those here in a second. It's built standard with those smart energy savings capabilities that I'll discuss here in a moment, and they are pretty impressive in comparison with what you can currently get your hands on in the market. So, and I think everybody will be really happy with the changes and improvements we've made to this product. So here we go. you get a little better close up on the backlit display for the bottle filler, a bigger photo of the filter there, which I'll actually go over on the next slide. But it has a hands-free bottle filler, touchless bottle filler sensor to eliminate the spread of germs and promote the use of reusable bottle options, which is more important now than ever. I don't think anybody would argue that. Highly intuitive LED display, and the touchless sensor on this bottle filler is actually adjustable too. So if you have high or low light situations, you can easily bump up or down the sensitivity of the sensor to make it as easy to use as possible if it needs to be done. Generally speaking, it doesn't have to be touched, but if you have an extreme situation, you can bump up the sensitivity. The way you do that is that this display has a hidden info display for service modes and error logs and things like that. So maintenance teams, given they have the correct tool, because it is tamper resistant, there's a button they can access that will reveal a hidden interactive display on the backlit display. Several buttons and a select button show up at the bottom of the black display there, allowing them to view filter life, change the sensor sensitivity, how bright the LED lights are, check the filter life and status. There are so many different things that you can do in there. There's also a programmable energy savings mode that I'll talk about here in a second. The bottle fill time on this is about 2 ounces a second, which is industry leading. It's very quick, so you're not going to be spending too much time there at the bottle filler. That's actually my hydro flask there in the photo, and it's a bit of a monster because I drink a lot of water and it fills it up in a snap. 24-hour auto purge to help prevent Legionella, which is a hot topic right now. So if it's unused, is automatically clearing out the lines in the drinking fountain to help relieve the any chance of Legionella or growth in the supply lines. Again, you can get the filter gallon and percentage status display on the backlit display, and that'll read out as like 40 gallons of 3,000 gallons used. The bottle, it's got the bottle counter right on the front there. And it's ticking every 17 ounces, which is about your average bottle nowadays. And then you have the battery backup for the backlit display and the settings, so that if you have a power outage or something happens, it'll save all of your settings. You don't have to do any follow-up maintenance to get these back and going. Once power is restored, it remembers all of its settings and will continue to function as normal, which is a really cool little function. This is our filtration. This is Haws model 6428. It's proprietary to Haws. Filtration is, remember, it's an option. So a 1201S would be your normal drinking fountain with the Y strainer. But as soon as we add an F on the end, so 1201SF, we have a filtered option. This is the filter. It's a carbon block filter cartridge, filtering lead, taste, odor, cis, really giving you a clean drinking experience, and has an industry-leading 3,000 gallon filter, which is above and beyond anything that anybody else is offering. So if you have high traffic areas, airports and schools and things like that, you're doing a lot less maintenance to keep these things running than you would normally. 100% lead-free waterways, that's not new, but it's very important. Haws has been lead-free since the early 90s, always very important. Filter replacement will reset the filter life. So it's actually a smart filter. There's an RFID tag on the back of the filter. The drinking fountain, the bottle filler recognize it, and so it's impossible to do something that we've found to be really pretty gross and surprising that it's done so frequently. Is what we've found and what we're warned of is that some people were taking the filters out of electric water coolers removing them and then reinstalling them, and the drinking fountains read it as a new filter. And now you're using something that's been used for its, you know, the entirety of its intended life, and it's being doubled. So you're running water through it, just a dirty filter. And unfortunately, nobody's the wiser. Once it goes in there, nobody's checking it. This is undefeatable. So if you want filtered water, you're getting filtered water. And once you replace the filter, it'll reset the bottle filler, recognize it, and keep anybody from getting nasty water out there in public spaces. Auto water stop upon the filter removal for easy changing. So you twist the filter about 90 degrees, it'll pop out. There's a little pressure in the water line. So have a rag ready or a paper towel, because you'll have a little bit of water to clean up, but you won't have to shut off the water, shut off the power, and do all these other things to get this filter replaced. You can twist it, pop it out, pop a new one back in, and you're back in business. Has an energy savings mode that I spoke about earlier. It's activated when the unit is inactive for 60 minutes, or if it's in a room where the ambient light is low for 60 minutes. So if you have meeting spaces that don't really get used often, or conference rooms, or whatever it happens to be, the building shuts down over weekends, etc. If it's inactive or the ambient light is low for 60 minutes, automatically kicks into energy savings mode. One of the reasons we think this is so important is, again, I mentioned earlier, this is an appliance. So think like your refrigerator, etc. So while our competitors' chilling packages are running 100% of the time, ours will kick off in low use moments, like unused for an hour or when ambient light dips. Chilling kicks on once somebody activates the unit or the lights come back on. There's a light sensor on the unit, and will begin chilling immediately and very quickly. And what this does is it can almost double the lifespan of the chilling package on the equipment. So it's going to last much longer than what our competition is offering. It's absolutely programmable. So if you access the hidden menu, you can program a Monday through Friday or a Saturday through Sunday schedule, a 24-hour schedule. So if your business, the school, whatever happens to be, is shut down on weekends, you can program it to go into energy savings modes at certain times on either Monday through Friday or Saturday through Sunday. It's a really unique feature to this product. The unit can be reactivated again by just simple activation or by turning on the lights. So if it's Monday morning, somebody's in the office, they turn on the lights, the drinking fountain will sense that, and it'll automatically kick into chilling mode. There's a picture of the maintenance panel just under the drinking fountain on the right-hand side there. You can see the LED lights. The red is indicating power, green is an indicator of the energy savings mode, and blue is an indicator for the filter. So between the backlit display and these LED lights, maintenance teams can quickly determine what the filter life is, and etc. There's no scary red lights that say, you know, no, non-filtered water, no filter. So customers of the drinking fountain will, you know, not be scared off by, you know, big red flashing lights. It's very low key. Maintenance teams will know what to do. And there's a very clear message that reads on the backlit display that just says change filter. A little closer look at the space underneath the drinking fountain. Designed again with those retrofit capabilities. We have a large list of competitors' models that we can easily retrofit over to update facilities. Huge clearances for easy filter replacement and maintenance. And then the simplified design of our installation, which our engineers did an amazing job of. One of the devices is a new patented device that our engineers created. Helps to cut down the installation of this unit by 40 to 60 minutes. which is expensive. When you're thinking about the contractor plumber's time, it's cutting a lot of time out of the process for getting these on the wall, especially when you're thinking about like really big jobs or big buildings, like new buildings. It's going to cut a lot of time out of that process. Here's a quick little example of side-by-side comparison. We've got a competitor's unit. I'm not going to name call, but this would be the wedge style design. So a little shorter on the bottom, fatter on the top. We wanted to kind of tit for tat here, in that we removed the drain on both of them. The filter is installed on both of them, but this is realistically, this is what you're looking at. So on the left, I see you having a very difficult time getting this installed. On the right, it's from our testing through testing with local plumbers and distributing this product so far, we've had again overwhelmingly positive feedback about how easy this is to handle, to install, to do maintenance on, and was a huge top of mind purpose behind the creation of this product. So it also has a much smaller footprint. So if you are an architect or designer, etc., and you're designing an alcove, you need a lot less space to fit this into. It has a smaller footprint when compared to competitors. On the right, you have the Elke, for instance. Total width 36 3/4. Our new 1200 series electric water cooler, this being the 1202, 34 1/16 inch total space, giving you again a smaller footprint and much easier to work with during the installation process. I'm going to steal a line from one of our engineers that was in charge of helping to create this. It's street legal. It's got everything it needs. It's assembled in the USA. It's CSA certified, FCC approved, and ADA compliant. It's NSF ANSI 61 and NSF 42 and 53 certified. We have patents pending on a lot of the technology used to create this thing, including the bottle filler back mounting. That was the device I was talking about earlier. It's self-adjusting. So when you actually install the bottle filler, you don't have to get the bracket exactly right. I was actually taking a rubber hammer to one of our competitors' bottle fillers, trying to install it at in our training facility. This will self-adjust. So you drop it onto the bracket, it self-adjusts and snugs right up to the electric water cooler. It's really cool. The bottle filler sensor design, the design of the unit, and we have a tankless evaporator, which we think is more important now than ever, especially when talking about Legionella. So if you have a tank, you've got water just sitting inside the unit, constantly being chilled, maybe not being recycled like it should entirely, and potentially collecting debris. Ours is entirely tankless. The technology is really cool, and we have our amazing engineering team over at Haws to thank for it. Maintenance is a cinch. You're dealing with stainless steel, plastic. Of course, you got to clean condenser dust off of it. That's standard. We've got a refrigeration unit on it. There's no way around that. Filter needs to be changed. Remember that for non-filtered units, we have a Y strainer installed. So on those, it's a really easy to reach Y strainer that's on the side. You can quickly remove it, clean it out, slap it back into place, and get busy. Troubleshooting is a cinch. Our team, our tech team at Haws is highly knowledgeable, and the troubleshooting makes it even easier with the backlit display. If it does actually incur an error, we can find out what that is on the backlit display on the menu. It'll tell us exactly what's wrong, and we can troubleshoot it quickly. The warranty is 1 year on everything, 5-year prorated on the refrigeration, of course. 1 year from date of install, or 18 months from the date of purchase, just to be fair, whichever comes first. And potentially just replacement of the unit, right? We have plenty of replacement parts. We also have a stainless steel bubbler head if you'd prefer that over the flexible guard bubbler head that's on there. Okay, moving on. That's our electric water cooler. I hope everybody really enjoyed that and sees the benefits of it. We're very excited to finally have it out there in the market and people talking about it. To move on, I'm going to talk about some of our other indoor and outdoor hydration products. To begin with, I really want to cover some of the things that Haws is just overall capable of. To begin with, some of the material types that we specialize in are number one, stainless steel, concrete, powder coated, and lastly, enameled iron. These are the primary materials that we use for the construction of our drinking fountains, which gives us a wide variety of areas that we can fill the needs for your facility or for your job, etc. And gives us indoor and outdoor capabilities. Some of the installation types include a sink and deck mounted fountain, the wall mounted fountains, floor and pedestal mounted, and then both indoor and outdoor bottle fillers. So if you have a park that you're working on or a park nearby, we can add bottle fillers to the Haws drinking fountains for outdoor use. And then on the indoor, it's really simple. And we can retrofit most of our competitors. There we go. Some of the options that are included, we can do raw galvanized on almost all of our drinking fountains. We can provide child height indoor and outdoor drinking fountains. So if you have preschools and things like that, really easy for us to achieve child height drinking fountains. We can run specials on some drinking fountains and get them down to child height. ADA accessibility is massively important for us, and we can achieve that really easily across our products. The dog bowl, easily, you can see that on the 3500D, that first product there. It's easily one of my favorite devices of all time. Being a dog lover, those are awesome to run into in public. Freeze resistance is really important, especially in the North America or Canada, etc. We have really easy to install and freeze valves for single or dual drinking fountains. The hose bib, really important for public parks, especially for the homeless population or maintenance teams for the park. Sand traps, I don't know what it is. Kids and children in parks and in schools, their very first thought when it comes to seeing a drinking fountain is to shove as much dirt and gummy bears down a drain as possible. The sand trap that we've designed that goes on the inside of the fountain here is really easy to use, easy to remove. You simply dump out the contents, slap it back in place, and you're back in business. It catches everything. It's really a pretty cool and unique device. Our hydration products they're reliable, they're built to last, they are highly vandal resistant. We still get calls about Haws drinking fountains from the 50s and 60s. It's crazy. We have locking pin bubbler heads, which is not equal across all of our competitors. The locking pin on the bubbler head is really important to keep anybody from indexing the bubbler head in a direction that it shouldn't be pointing. You know, I used to go to the gym here in Nevada, and I had this one guy at the gym. We didn't have a bottle filler, but we had a drinking fountain. He used to grab the bubbler head and twist it so it would spray off the side of the fountain so he could fill up his bottle. Ours have locking pins so they cannot be vandalized. It's very important. We offer 12 gauge or 18 gauge stainless steel options. Again, ADA compliance, very important to us, especially for high-low units like you see there on the 3500 unit. Freeze protection for cold climates, and then we offer chilled water for hot climates. That's our HCR8 chiller right there, right next to the fountain. This is a remote chiller, so it can be added onto just about any drinking fountain, and doesn't have to be located on the fountain. A remote chiller can be located behind the wall, etc., to provide chilled water to the fountain. Our concrete drinking fountains, we take a lot of pride in. It's actually one of my favorite areas at Haws. It's really cool. We were way back in the day featured on, I can't remember the name of it, How It's Made, and and we went over how drinking fountains, concrete ones, are created. The aggregate, you have a choice of texture, you have a choice of color. We can do whatever combination that you deem necessary for your park, or that'll help it to blend in the best. We have highly design and style driven products. We really tried to design our product categories to offer as many options as possible for as many different settings as possible. So front office, front of office, you know, outdoor, or the rest of the building. So public facilities, auditoriums, hotels, schools, parks, theme parks. Actually, if you go to a Disneyland or a Universal Studios, Hollywood, you're gonna find Haws equipment all over the place. They like to do a lot of weird stuff with our drinking fountains there. I love finding them. This is what really makes a lot of our hydration products so unique. This push button is very important to us. This is not something that's available throughout our competition. This is a front accessible stream adjustment and a stream adjustable device. So straight right from the front of the device of the drinking fountain, if you have the correct tool, which makes it vandal resistant, you can adjust the flow easily rather than taking the drinking fountain apart and getting to the valve inside of the drinking fountain. It also has a cartridge replacement. So rather than replacing the whole valve, we can easily replace a cartridge in it if it runs out through wear of pushing the button repeatedly over years. So maintenance is super easy, vandal resistant, and has a really low operating cost. It's all manual. This button is used throughout our equipment. Outdoor bottle filler, one of our newest outdoor drinking fountains, the ODBF is what we call it. This is a modular outdoor drinking fountain and bottle filler series. It has a really unique look to it. Great looking bottle filler, allows for a lot of customization and can fit your individual needs as far as parks go, etc. We can even put your city name on the drain plate, whatever you want. So it has configurable options for the bottle fillers, the dog bowls, fountains, and the hose bib placement. This series provides an option to also interchange the arms and other accessories before or after installation. So if you have an upcoming event and you need more bottle fillers, you can slap on more bottle fillers. Or if you decide that traffic is just really high in a certain area of your park, you can remove one of the security panels on the side and slap on another drinking fountain or another bottle filler. Some of the really cool features on this is, number one, it's built just as vandal resistant as the rest of our line. You have 3/16" thick galvanized steel exterior with a phosphate undercoat. The mechanical button activation keeps it from being vandalized. You have a 1 GPM flow rate from the bottle filler. It is really quick, really fast, and very convenient. ADA compliant, of course. We have to have a high focus on that. NSF compliant, and then it's really easy to install and easy to access the internal plumbing to make any changes or do any maintenance that needs to be done. It's got a large opening on the back that can be opened, given you have the correct tools. And I don't know who wakes up in the morning dead set on vandalizing a drinking fountain, but they must exist because we have to make these pieces of equipment vandal resistant. Again, modular functionality for arm placement. The arms can go on either side. You have a lot of options for where the accessories can go. The bowl and the bubbler head can be rotated to adjust for multiple configurations, and of course for accessibility. The bottle filler as well, you can face that in any direction that you want. So if you have a walking path on one side of the fountain and say a bike path on the other, you can easily slap this in the middle and have you know, a bottle filler facing both ways, whatever you'd like. It's highly customizable. This was a plate that we did for the city of Vancouver. We can easily customize the color of the unit. The bottle icon on the back of the bottle filler can be black or silver, and the drain plate can be custom engraved with the logo of your city, the university, the school, even just your business, whatever it is that you like. So highly customizable options on this. Some of the additional accessories, just a little closer up, you have the dog bowl there. Again, just my favorite thing in the world, the hose bib, and then you have a lockable hose bib too for maintenance teams that are in the park. Some of our bottle filler options, some of the types that we can offer are recessed mounted, surface mounted, mounted over the drinking fountain, filtered, and of course retrofitted over most of our competition. We all use stainless steel, it all blends pretty well, and we've designed ours to be easily retrofittable. This option, I should say these two options, these are the models 2000S and the 2000 SMS. These are filtered units. We have on the top, the 2000S is a recessed mounted solution for permanent installations. The 2000 SMS is a surface mounted unit and plugs right into the wall, perfect for retrofitting or adding to areas where a bottle filler is needed. It has a 2,500 gallon life cycle control filter, touch-free sensor entirely. Both have purge features to clean it out. The chiller is usable on this, and it's completely optional on both of them. You have a 3-year warranty, which is really great. And both can be ADA compliant, obviously, just depends on how high you mount it on the wall to accommodate reach ranges for accessibility. They're also highly customizable. The plate that you see there just above the filler is customizable. So we can put the Haws Hydration by Haws logo on there. We can do no logo at all, or we can do a custom logo of your university, your school. It's all included. So there's a couple great examples of the customizable plates. You can see, again, City of Vancouver, Vancouver International Airport, our Nevada Wolfpack, and then the bottom one is just a local community college that we made one up for. We also have unfiltered bottle filler options. They can be chilled, they can be unchilled, whichever it is that you prefer. They have no electrical requirements, so it's all mechanically operated using our push button, like you see there on the 1920, mounted over the high-low drinking fountains, or glass fillers and things like that we offer, of course. They're universal, designed for retrofits, extremely low maintenance. All that you would need to maintain is possibly the button years down the road. If you have really excessive use, high traffic areas. But again, we can just quickly, given you have the correct tool, take off the button, put in a new cartridge. It's a little plastic cartridge, very common for drinking fountain use. This one's front accessible though, and we can replace that and put it right back into service. Highly vandal resistant. And also resistant to stains and fingerprints, indoor or outdoor applications, and then it has a nice laminar flow, 1 GPM on it, and the front accessible mechanical push valve, which you see there. But on the bottom left-hand image though, you see a slightly different button. That is actually the freeze protection, freeze resistant push button. It's air operated and releases the water in a freeze protection valve that's buried in the ground next to the drinking fountain where the water is kept from freezing. I want to go over the 4 main product families that we have for our drinking fountains. These are for indoor or outdoor use, but these are some of the mainstays of Haws. We update when we need to, but these have been around for a long time, and these are really the workhorse of the Haws family. So to begin with, we have the 1001 and the 1011. The 1001 being the single fountain, the 1011 being the high-low fountain. These are 100% stainless steel fountains. They have an 18 gauge bowl, which if you're not familiar with the gauges for stainless steel is a little bit thinner than the 14 gauge box frame because that's where all the weight's gonna go. If this were mounted and a kid decided to get on it and start jumping around, this supports I think it's about 300 pounds of weight. So you would really have to mean it to get this off of the wall. Brushed satin finish on it, or we have a high polished stainless with a mirror-like quality. If you have a really elegant front lobby or something like that you want to add it to, we have a mirror finish, which is really good. It has a pretty elegant look to it and dresses up just about any building. Perfect for high vis areas. This one is non-chilled for energy efficiency, but we can add the HCR8 chiller to any of our drinking fountain options. And then vandal resistant bubbler, and it has the patented front serviceable valve system, of course. This is the 1109, same kind of numbering as the previous drinking fountain. The 1109 or the 1119 high-low. This fountain is highly durable. It's been our workhorse for decades. It's available in both 18 gauge or 14 gauge. It can be used in indoor or outdoor installation, and it's type 304 stainless steel. Non-chilled or chilled, completely depending on what you need. This thing is highly vandal resistant. Perfect for schools and universities or areas where there's little to no supervision and vandalism is highly likely. The stainless steel is easy to clean. The mechanics on the inside of the fountain are very hard to get to, and you cannot index the bubbler head in any other direction. Actually, a funny story, we used to have what was called the baseball bat test at Haws, where we used to attempt to destroy our drinking fountains and our competitors' drinking fountains bubbler heads with a baseball bat. And Haws wins, fortunately for us. We actually still have the bat floating around the Haws building. It's got a bunch of bubbler head size dents in it. This is the 1107L and the 1117L. This one is unique in that it's also 14 gauge, 304. It's got the brushed satin, chilled or non-chilled, but the 1117L is adjustable. If you were to purchase this fountain, what you can do is either set the either of the two drinking fountains at a adult standing height, adult ADA height, or a child height fountain. So you can meet all of those needs if you were to say purchase three. One of the dual fountains and one of the single fountains. You could have, you can move the high-low at any height that you wish. It will meet all of those requirements. We also have an 1117 LN, which is just a non-adjustable version of the fountain. It just comes in a adult standing and adult ADA. The cast iron and aluminum, this is really popular for schools, has that classic schoolyard look to it. There's actually a lot more reasoning behind the cast iron and the coated surface on this, the enamel. One, these are typically installed outdoors, most commonly I should say, and the enamel is non-porous, so they're very easy to clean. You would be surprised what the most common substances are on a lot of these surfaces in outdoors and schools. Makes it easy to clean, but it's also enameled so that if it's exposed to the sunlight, unlike stainless steel, it's not going to be hot to the touch, and it's going to be cool for kids to touch. It's not going to burn them. Also highly vandal resistant. Very heavy duty and hard to do any damage to. And again, it's just got that classic schoolyard look. They are all NSF's ANSI 61 and 372 certified. We do all of our testing through CSA laboratories. They are also AB 1953 Assembly Bill 1953 compliant, which basically just called for a reduction in lead content in all plumbing equipment, including the pipes, fittings, fixtures, and that was to a level less than 0.25%. Our bodies can only filter so much lead. Our bodies are capable of filtering lead, but just a very, very small amount at a time. But it is compliant with all of these. And that's it. Those are our product families. That's our newest electric water cooler. A lot of the options that we offer for indoor and outdoor fountain installation. I've reached my 45 minutes. I did my best not to ramble on. I hope you got a really good taste of our offerings at Haws and how many different situations we can fill with our product given the need. Feel free to contact us. Our website is www.hawsco.com. Our customer service line and their email is right there on the screen, as well as our Haws technical support, who again are highly knowledgeable and ready to help. If you don't want to chat with somebody directly, we also have a live chat function on our website. If you go to hawsco.com, just click on the blue button on the bottom right of the screen and you can chat with a customer service representative right now, as a matter of fact. Thank you very much for attending. We greatly appreciate it. Reach out to us if you need anything, and have a wonderful day. Bye.